At 2:17 a.m., Hannah jolted awake with a scream caught in her throat. In the dream, a voice she didn't recognize had said only 4 words: "Get them out, now." She didn't know why. She didn't know from what. But her hands were shaking as she threw off the covers, because something inside her knew this wasn't a dream meant to be forgotten. Some warnings come softly, others arrive like orders, and this one would save 4 lives. Hannah Cole had learned the rhythm of tiredness the way most parents do, by living inside it. Dinner dishes stacked in the sink, a half-folded basket of laundry on the couch, the television murmuring something she wasn't really watching. Mark had fallen asleep early, one arm flung over the back of the sofa. Evan and Lucy were finally quiet upstairs. It was a Tuesday. Nothing special, nothing dangerous. Hannah checked the locks out of habit, turned off the lights, and slipped into bed beside her husband. She said a short prayer, more muscle memory than urgency, and let sleep take her. That was when the dream came. She was standing in the hallway of their house, but it wasn't quite right. The walls felt closer. The air was thick, almost buzzing. A faint hum filled her ears. Then the voice. Not loud, not threatening. Clear, steady, unmistakable. Get them out, now. She turned, heart pounding. Who? She asked in the dream. But the voice didn't answer. She woke, gasping, clutching the sheets. The digital clock glowed red. 2:17 a.m. Her heart was racing like she'd been running. "Hannah," Mark mumbled, half asleep. "You okay?" She swallowed. I had a bad dream." Mark rolled over. "You're safe. Go back to sleep." She tried, but the words wouldn't leave her. Get them out, now. Hannah lay still, staring at the ceiling, listening. The house was quiet, but not peaceful. Every creak sounded louder than it should. Every breath felt shallow. She told herself it was nothing. Stress. Too much caffeine. Too many late nights scrolling stories about things that happened to other people. But then the sensation returned. Not fear. Urgency. It pressed into her chest like a hand. She sat up. Mark stirred again. "What is it now?" "I can't sleep," she said. "Something feels wrong." He sighed softly. "You're overtired." "I know how that feels," she whispered. "This isn't it." She swung her legs out of bed. The floor was cold. As she stood, a thought crossed her mind. Not in her voice, not in panic. Just clarity. Check the kids. She walked upstairs, every step heavy with doubt. She peeked into Evan's room. He was sprawled sideways, breathing slow. Lucy clutched her stuffed rabbit, peaceful. They were fine. She should have felt relief. Instead, the pressure intensified. The voice returned. Not audible this time, but unmistakable. Now. Hannah backed into the hallway, heart hammering. She whispered, "Mark." He appeared at the top of the stairs, irritation fading as he saw her face. "What's going on?" "I don't know how to explain this," she said, tears forming. "But we need to get out of the house." He stared at her. "Right now?" "Yes. Hannah, it's the middle of the night." "I know." "Why?" She shook her head. "I don't know. I just know we need to leave." Silence stretched between them. Then, faintly, a smell reached them. Sharp, acrid. Mark frowned. "Do you smell that?" Her stomach dropped. Smoke. Mark bolted down the stairs. "Get the kids!" Hannah didn't move. She was already frozen in place, the weight of realization settling over her like ice water. She hadn't imagined it. The dream hadn't been symbolic. It hadn't been emotional. It had been instruction. Smoke curled faintly from the laundry room doorway. A dull orange glow pulsed behind it. Electrical fire. Later, investigators would say it likely started minutes earlier. Quiet, hidden, deadly. Mark shouted, "Hannah!" She moved. Lucy woke crying as Hannah scooped her up. Evan stumbled out, confused and scared. "What's happening?" "Shoes, jacket, now," Hannah said, voice shaking but firm. They moved fast, too fast to think, exactly how it had been in the dream. Smoke alarms finally screamed as they burst through the front door into the cold night air. Seconds later, flames punched through the laundry room window. Lucy sobbed into Hannah's shoulder. Evan stared, eyes wide. "Mom, how did you know?" Hannah looked at the house, burning brighter by the second. She didn't answer, because she didn't know how to explain a voice that hadn't shouted, but had never been wrong. They stood, wrapped in borrowed blankets as firefighters worked. Neighbors gathered. Someone handed Hannah a cup of coffee she didn't remember accepting. Mark sat beside her, silent. Finally, he spoke. "You woke up before the alarms." She nodded. "You knew before the smoke." "Yes." He rubbed his face. "How?" Hannah hesitated. "I was told." "Told?" She swallowed. "In a dream, or something like it." He didn't laugh. He didn't argue. He just nodded slowly. Later, when the sun rose and the fire was out, a firefighter approached. "If you'd waited another 5 minutes," he said, "you wouldn't have made it out." Hannah felt her knees weaken. 5 minutes. She thought of the clock. 2:17 a.m. She thought of the voice. Clear, calm, certain. That night, after they were settled in a friend's guest room, Hannah lay awake again. This time there was no fear, only gratitude and a quiet question she didn't know how to ask. In the weeks that followed, Hannah searched for logic. Carbon monoxide? No. Subconscious smell? Unlikely. Coincidence? Too precise. She found stories instead. People who dreamed of bridges collapsing and didn't cross them. Parents who heard their name called and turned away from disaster. Warnings that arrived gently, firmly, impossibly. One night she dreamed again. This time the hallway was bright, the air clear. The voice didn't command. It said only one thing. You listened. She woke with tears on her cheeks. Hannah never heard the voice again, but she never doubted it either. Some guidance doesn't come often. It comes once when it matters most. And whether we call it God, an angel, intuition, or grace. It asks the same thing every time. Will you listen? Some miracles don't look like light from the sky. They arrive as a whisper, a nudge, a warning we almost ignore. If you've ever felt guided, protected, saved without knowing how, you're not alone. Like, share, and follow Lanes and Lanterns for more true stories of fate, timing, and the unseen moments that change everything. And if something like this has happened to you, tell us in the comments. We read every story.